Magical greetings, Erica Sotis here with your latest divination video. So now I invite you to think of a question, something that you're wondering about how to move forward, a situation how to deal with, or perhaps you just need general guidance. And once you have it, you are going to choose from the following. Because this video is coming out on April Fool's Day, all of the following are themed around this idea. Of course, this divination is good anytime you need a little bit of guidance on something. So the first item you are going to choose from is As You Like It by Shakespeare. The second is Rosy Rosebud. Who's that? The third is Hyoka. And the fourth is Stephen King's It. The fifth is Me in a Trash Can. Now, we are working with 5 people that are associated with this archetype of the clown and the fool. Because, well, one, I have a very strong connection to this archetype, to the clown, the fool archetype. I have not only performed as a clown, I have taught classes on the history of clowning, and I just love this archetype. This is Princess, my best friend. An archetype that can laugh at the seriousness of life. Now, it's funny because on one level, I am such a serious person. It's like out of control. But yet I also value laughter and humor like nobody's business. Now, utilizing your intuition, you are going to choose 1, As You Like It, 2, Rosy Rosebud, 3, Hyoka, 4, It, or 5, 5, Me in a Trash Can. Do you have it? Now, take a deep breath and trust yourself. When I perform my mentalism or psychic show, people say, oh, I don't have a good connection to my intuition, but you probably do hear something. It's really just about trust. Or maybe you feel something, or maybe you smell something, right? There is so many ways we pick up on information, and part of becoming more intuitive or more psychic, if you want, is learning how you receive, right? The 5 clairs: clairvoyance, clairaudio, clairsentience, but really I think it's infinite amount of clairs. It's not just 5. Now, once you have your chosen item of the 5, I will tell you what it means. And now we will answer your question. If you chose number 1, As You Like It, now is the time for you to really speak truth, especially truth to power. So there is a fool in As You Like It, Touchstone. He's one of the many fools that are in Shakespeare plays. And fools, jesters, court jesters were given this power, right, to speak truth to the ruler, to the king. So I invite you now to think of a person, a situation in your life where if you have been holding yourself back and you know you need to express yourself, your authentic truth. Now is the time, if you chose As You Like It by Shakespeare, to speak your truth to somebody in your life. Or maybe it's really to yourself. Maybe there's a situation in your life that you have been denying because it's a painful truth. Now is the time. Or maybe get more involved with activism. Write a letter to your editor. Join a group. Speak up for a situation you feel very right about. Justice is now for you if you chose As You Like It. If you chose number 2, Rosy Rosebud, that's this clown name, Rosy Rosebud. Think of roses. Roses are all about love. So right now, take a deep breath, put your hand on your heart, and notice what you're saying to yourself. If what you're saying isn't kind, or is kind, send yourself abundant love. Say, I love you. And if you're not capable of loving this part of yourself, just be compassionate. Send yourself compassion if you chose Rosy Rosebud. More self-love. Buy some roses or drink some rose tea. Look in the mirror and send yourself love until your face morphs into different images. Have you ever done that? If you haven't, it's really powerful. Eye gazing with self. Love is how to move forward in this situation if you chose Rosy Rosebud. Hyoka is a sacred clown of the Sioux people, the Lakota and Dakota tribes in the Great Plains of North America. This sacred clown works with opposites. They do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. And by this, they teach. They teach through opposites, in essence, and also at the expense of others, being able to laugh. And so if you chose Hyoka, in this situation that you're dealing with, that you were thinking of earlier, do the opposite of what you would normally do. So if you would normally call, don't call. If you would normally not stand up or stand up, do the opposite, right? That's the medicine. And if it's just guidance you were looking for, you didn't have a particular question, I invite you to do the opposite. As you get up, would you normally eat this or drink this? Do the opposite. Also, Hyoka is associated with thunder beings. So if there's a storm, think about that. So now is a time of great insight because thunder, right? It kind of wakes up and challenges. So challenge your norm. Question yourself. And if you chose It by Stephen King, now I've never read this or seen the movie. I believe that I've maybe seen clips of the movie, but I know what it's about. I kind of avoided horror movies until or scary, really scary, dark, violent things until about 5 years ago. I still don't really like a lot of violence, but I do think that horror movies can really be wonderful art. So if you chose number 4, It, there is a person or situation or even a belief that you have, a thought that isn't what it seems to be. I forget the expression, but it's not all that glitters is gold, right? So clowns, which are, unless you have that clown phobia, are often associated with joy and laughter and silliness. However, not this clown. This clown is evil, I'm told. And so if you chose It, I'm not saying that the person or the situation is evil, but you don't know the whole story, right? There's some sort of mask on, right? Maybe it's a story you're telling yourself that isn't quite true, that isn't serving you, that is wrong. The story you're telling yourself might be on some level evil, right? I believe all parts of us want to be loved, yet we have to question them, right? And decide who's in charge. The older I get, the more I realize that so much of life is reparenting ourselves and how we deal with the parts of ourselves. So look deeper. There's a situation or a person or a story that just isn't what it seems to be and isn't serving you. If you chose number 4. And if you chose number 5, this picture is from my first solo show I made up. Well, probably I've made up lots of solo shows before that, but this was kind of a more official solo show called Nothing is Sacred, one woman's journey from obsession to self-love. And I would get in the trash can, there's holes in the can, and I would stick body parts out. I've always been very flexible physically. And so this can represented being stuck in our own SHIT or garbage. So now is the time for you to really look at the shadow. And in order to move forward in the situation in your life or heal it, or even if you just need guidance, You can have a happier, more joyful, successful, on purpose, of service life if you investigate some of the stories you developed when you were a child, right? Stories of not being good enough, or stories of not being enough, whatever it is, right? Most of us have these stories, and goddess bless you if you don't. If you don't have them, goddess bless you. Please, I invite you to look at the shadow. If you're not sure, you can research on Google what shadow is. Carl Jung coined this idea of shadow, or please reach out to me, comment, and I would love to help you. So, I hope whichever clown, fool archetype you chose today, that medicine spoke to you. And if it didn't, if you heard it and you thought, God, Erica is way off on me right now, please, I invite you, trust yourself. You are the number one authority on you, right? Not what someone else tells you. Life isn't just about learning. It's so much about unlearning, and you know better. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this divination video, please share it far and wide with friends. Please like and comment. And also please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is on top somewhere. And I wish for you a day, a month, a year full of so much laughter, full of joy, full of chuckles, full of guffaws. And may you laugh so hard you practically pee in your pants. Erica Sotis out.
This is Princess.